Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with another review. And today, I have a portable power station from a company called Tawak that provides all the power you'll need to keep your portable electronics fully charged when you're away from home. The product provides 300 watts of external charging capabilities and has an internal capacity of 250 watt hours, which is a lot of power for a small unit like this. They also provide pretty much every connection you'll need to charge anything you'll bring along for an afternoon of fun with family and friends. Now, before I get too deep into the review, I always like to start with an unboxing of a product just to show you everything that's included with the kit, because you want to understand what you're getting if you buy this product. And then I'll spend a few minutes and go through the specifications of what the product provides, because there's a lot of connections on here, and it's important to understand how you can charge the unit, what you can charge from it, and how best to take care of it. And then finally, I'll discuss a few things that really separate this product from a lot of other portable power stations on the market, because what I think the company has done with this product is built a portable, powerful little unit that you can use to charge and operate a lot of electronics in the field, and they've really packed in a lot of features that you may not find in other units. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first pop open the box, you'll find the portable power station, and again, it's tiny and it's incredibly powerful, and it's got every port you're going to need to charge all of your portable devices. Also in the box, you'll find an AC charging kit. This is used at home. You'll plug this end into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a barrel connection on it, which plugs into the DC input port on the side, and I'll show you that in a minute. You'll also find a car charging kit, so you can use this to charge it in your car. This end plugs into any 12-volt outlet. The other end has a barrel connection on it, which plugs into that same outlet on the side. You can also charge it from a solar panel, so any solar panel on the market that can output a DC voltage of between 13 and 26 volts, you can plug into the side of it, and you can charge it when you're on the go. So you have three different ways to add power to the unit and to get electrons into those batteries. And there are a ton of connections for pulling those electrons back out to charge all of your portable devices. One of the things they include is a connector. It's a 5521 conversion to a standard 12-volt outlet. And that's important because if you're taking things that you would normally charge in your car or operate in your car, you can use this adapter on the front of the unit to actually turn that 5521 port into a standard 12-volt outlet. So it's another way for you to be able to charge external devices. Now, the unit itself is incredibly lightweight, and what I mentioned before about the 250 watt hours, that's pretty much a perfect size for you to take along for an afternoon of fun. Now, there are certainly bigger portable power stations out there, and there are reasons you'd bring those along if you were going for a few days of camping, or maybe you had a power outage and you wanted to plug a few things in at home until the power came back. But if you're heading out for an afternoon, this is the perfect size that has the portability. It's lightweight, but it's got a lot of capacity, and you can charge your phone, your tablet, your drone batteries, your cameras, a lot of things you bring along that you have to charge when you're out in the field. Maybe you want to operate a small fan if you're camping, or a small light. You can plug that in here as well and operate those. So the unit itself, again, provides a tremendous amount of external connections, and I'll go through those briefly now. So on the front of the unit, the first thing you'll notice are two buttons down the bottom. There's a power button right here, which turns the entire unit on. There's also a grouping of connections on the front. There are two full-sized USB-A connections right here. Both of those provide 2.1 amps at 5 volts, which is a standard charger. So anything you're charging at home with a USB charger, you can plug in there with a standard USB-A cable. To the left of that are two specialty connectors. Over here, I've got a USB-C connection, which is the latest charging standard that's available for portable electronics. But what's important about that USB-C connection is it's also a PD port, which means it's a power delivery port. So anything you want to charge that can use that quick charging standard of power delivery, you can plug in there, and the port will look at that device. It'll make adjustments to the voltage and current it sends to the device to charge it quickly and safely. It's also a 60-watt port, which is really unique. A lot of the portable power stations out there have USB-C ports on them, but they're lower current. They may be 60 watts. This one's 60 watts, or maybe a 30-watt or a 25-watt, and that's not powerful enough to charge things like laptops or the bigger game consoles out there, or drone batteries. So having 60 watts out of that PD port means you've got plenty of power to charge those really thirsty big devices. Below that is another USB-A connection, and what's unique about that one is it's a QC or quick charge compatible connection. That's the other standard for fast charging. So one standard is PD, the other standard is QC. So if you have a device that charges through a QC connection, when you plug the USB-A in here and plug in that device, that port will individually look at that product and make the adjustments to current and voltage to charge that quickly and correctly as well. So you've got a lot of smart electronics in here. In the center are two 5521 barrel connections, and those are unique connections that you can find cables on the market to charge things directly from those 5521s. Those are DC 12-volt outputs, but if you want, you can use the adapter, as I mentioned before, and plug that right into one of the 5521 ports like this. and then you've got a standard 12-volt DC outlet on the front. So anything you charge in your car, you can plug in right there and charge to your heart's content. It works really well. And again, that's 10 amps of 12 volts DC between them. Now on the side of the unit, you've got two full-sized AC outputs right here, and between those you can draw 300 watts of power. So those are great, again, for a lamp or a fan, or if you've got a charger you use at home for your laptop, you can plug it in there. The unique thing about this is that most of the portable power stations out there have a two-prong connection, and the challenge is a lot of the things you're going to plug in require three prongs. This has two full-size three-prong connections on it. So anything you plug in at home that has a three-prong connection on it can plug into the side of that, and you'll be good to go. Now below that is another 5521 port right there, and that's the charging port. So if you plug in the AC adapter at home, or you plug in the car charger, or plug in a solar panel, that's where you actually charge the unit. On the rear of the unit, you'll find a nice light, and that's a courtesy light, but I like that because if you're out camping and maybe you've got to make a connection or you're trying to do something where it's really dark and you can't see it, you can hit that button and turn the light on. There are three modes there where it's on lower, it turns into an SOS light, so there's a couple of different settings inside there, but I love the fact that they thought enough to put a light in there because you're always carrying a flashlight with you, but a lot of times you're charging things and it's nice to have a light there. On the side of the unit, you'll find a fan right over here, and that's used for cooling. That normally doesn't come on unless you're charging it. A lot of times when you're charging it at home, especially if it's very low when you start that charging cycle, the fan may come on, and that's designed to keep the electronics inside at a very comfortable temperature. It may come on as well if you draw a lot of current out of the unit. So if you plugged in some heavy-duty AC stuff on the other side that may be drawing close to the 300 watts, the fan will come on to keep it cool. But the fan is quiet, and again, it's designed to keep the electronics comfortable inside the unit. A couple other things to mention. This has a battery management system in it that protects both the external units you're charging and the internal batteries when it's being charged. So it's constantly monitoring the current coming into the unit and the current going out of the unit to make sure that nothing bad happens on either of those fronts. It's really good for detecting things like over temperature, over current, short circuits, over voltage, and it will shut down whatever charging circuit is misbehaving before it causes any damage to external devices. One of the things I forgot to mention about the AC output is it's a full sine wave output, and that's really important because a lot of these units on the market have a modified sine wave, which works okay for some appliances like fans and things like that, but it isn't really good for things that are sensitive like electronics. So if you're plugging in something that's an electronic device to the AC side, you want to make sure you find a full sine wave output. Other than that, the unit itself, again, I think is the perfect combination of size and power to take with you anywhere. It's so light. It's like carrying a lunchbox out in the field. It really is just that light. So I like it a lot for a full day of fun in the field. Now, I want to talk about a few things that really separate this from a lot of other products on the market. I've mentioned them already, but I thought I'd reinforce them here. The first thing is when you're connecting up to the USB ports on the front of the unit, a lot of products out there only give you one or two full-size USB-A ports, which are great if you've got older devices. But if you're trying to charge newer things like game consoles, drone batteries, a lot of the cameras on the market, tablets and phones, you'll need a USB-C connection. This has the USB-C connection on it. It's also PD, which is power delivery, and it's a 60-watt port. And that's really important because if you buy one that doesn't have that amount of current coming out of it, you won't be able to charge things like laptops and the consoles, the game consoles that you may want to bring along for the kids. So 60-watt PD port in the front. I love the fact that it's also got a QC port on it because in the world of electronics, you have PD fast charging and QC fast charging. I like the fact that I can vary between those two because a lot of my devices, whether it's an Apple product or an Android product, use one of those two standards, and I have no trouble connecting those up on the front. As far as the AC goes on the side, again, a pure sine wave output, which is great. 300 watts of power, which is quite a lot of power when you're out in the field. You can easily plug in a fan and a lamp and operate those for quite a long time on the unit. I love the fact that it's got an advanced battery management system built in, which not only protects the internal batteries, but protects anything external I'm plugging into it. Because if you think about it for a second, the unit's not that expensive, but the things you're plugging into it are very expensive. So if the unit misbehaves and sends the wrong voltage or current to those devices, you could damage those. So having an advanced battery management system built in just means you've got safeguards built in to make sure that nothing gets damaged externally that you're trying to charge from the unit. And that was pretty much all I had for today. I like the unit. I really like the size and footprint of it. I think they've done a great job with the design. It's got kind of a fun exterior, nice blue exterior on it. So it's a very attractive unit, really easy to bring along. You could slide it into a backpack, throw it in a suitcase, take it along, and have a lot of charging capabilities out there in the field for your next adventure. So thanks an awful lot for watching. I hope you found this review helpful, and until next time, stay nerdy.